all. This is Dr. Aruna Chaturvedi from the Department of Information Technology. The subject I am taking is Programming and Problem Solving through Python. In this, today we talk about Python variables and various data types supported by Python. So in this, if we look here carefully, see, if we talk about variables, we will learn that what are the different naming convention for variables, how we assign values to the variable, how we use multiple variables, and how we can delete the variables. When we talk about data types, the various types of data types supported by Python are numbers, strings, lists, tuples, and dictionaries. We will also talk about type conversions, and those are type conversions into integer function, float, str, bool, and list. And when we talk about various kind of variables, we'll be discussing about local variables and global variables. So one by one we will see each and every detail. So let's talk about Python variable. Basically, a variable is a placeholder or a container which hold a value in a particular memory allocation. It can be assigned a name and you can use it to refer it in the program. While doing programming, if you want to refer to some value which is being stored at particular memory location, how you will be referring? You should have some name. So those names in which a particular kind of values is being stored are also termed as placeholder. Value holder is basically a variable. Based on the value assigned, the interpreter decides its data type. You can always store a different kind of values or different data types of values in a variable. For example, here I am saying x is equals to 45. It means in the memory there is a location for which some memory address will be lying over there, and within this memory address one value is being stored and that value is 45. So whenever in the program I want to refer to this value, I'll be referring using this name. Similarly, if I say name is equals to James, it means that it is of string type, as here the x is of integer type because the value which is being stored in this variable is of integer type. So that's why interpreter will decide that okay fine, x is holding a value of integer type. Similarly, if I say name is equals to James, it means interpreter decides this thing on the basis of value stored in this name variable, that the data type of name is a string and the value which is being stored in this variable is James, and it is holding some address. That address can be any address depending upon the system, that what address is being allocated to this variable. Similarly, if I say nums is equals to within parentheses 1357, it means it is a kind of list. So the data type of this variable is list and the value which is being stored in this variable is 1, 3, 5, 7, and will be holding some different memory address also. So this is an example where we have seen that there is a name which is given to a memory address in which a kind of value is being stored, and that value which is stored in that particular variable can be of different type. It depends upon the value which is being initialized to that variable. If it is of integer type, then data type is integer. If it is of string type, then data type is a string. If it is of list type, it is list, and many more. So there are certain rules which we have to remember while giving a name to a variable, and those rules are Python variable can only begin with a letter. It can be a small case letter or a big case letter or with an underscore. The rest of the identifier may contain any alphabet, underscore and numbers, but the first place where the variable name should start with alphabet or underscore. Python is case sensitive, so the Python identifier is to be used carefully. Name and name, these are two different types of identifiers or name of a variable. We can never use some reserve words to give a name to an identifier. So keeping these rules in mind, we should give a name to a variable. These are certain examples. If here I am saying L name is equals to, here what I am saying one name. It is not L, it is 1. So I'm starting with number. So the moment I start a name of a variable with number, it will give a syntactical error. Similarly, if I say name is equals to Sumit, it is right. I can say print name, it will print the Sumit. But in case I write print name, this N is capital, it will give me the error because there is no variable by the name and name as NAME where N is capital. There is a variable name, but the name of a variable is all in small letters. Similarly, I can start with underscore, no issues. It can print the value as Amit as I stored the value in underscore one name as Amit. Name2 is also a valid variable name because 2 is coming later on. Whereas underscore $$ is not a correct variable name because these special characters are not allowed to give a name to any variable. So these are certain examples which I think made you clear that how to give a name of a variable to a particular value which we want to store in particular memory location. Now we see how to assign a value to a variable. So assignment operator is equals to only to assign a value to Python variable. We don't need to declare it as it is required in C, C++, Java that you have to declare first of all variable, then only you can initialize values to the variable. You can directly initialize the values to the variable. It automatically takes the data type according to on the basis of the value we have stored in the variable. Like here I have done name is equals to James. So this is I am assigning a value to a variable name, and as I assigned a string type variable value to the variable name, that's why the data type of name is string. Here I said age is equals to 26. It means that as I have assigned a value 26 to the variable age, the data type of age variable is integer. Fine. If I want to print something, how can I print in Python? I have to write print within double quotes your name is, so it will be going to get displayed as it is your name is, and to display the value this variable is containing, I have to use concatenation operator, that is plus and then the name of a variable. As name is having value as James, you can see the output is your name is James. You can't put the identifier on the right hand side of the equal sign, though the following code causes error. Like here, I want to assign value 8 to age, so I cannot write 8 over here. I have to write the name of a variable first of all, and then equals to, and then value. So be careful. Here I am saying false is equals to choice. This is also a wrong way to assign a value to a variable. The variable name should always be on the left hand side and the value should always be on the right hand side. You have to be very much careful while assigning a value to any variable. Now, you see how we can do multiple assignments. Let's say I want to assign Sumit to name and this 25 to age variable. I can do it together also. This is possible in Python. I can write all the variable names together like name, comma, age, comma, address equals to, first of all I'll write the value which I want to assign to name. So it will directly go to name, then to age, this 25 will go to age. As many variable names I have written over here using comma separator, those many values in that sequence only I have to assign over here. You have to remember this thing. Now here, if I want to assign the same value to two different variables, we can do that also. Age is equals to experience is equals to 26. It means that the value which is assigned to age is also 26 and to experience is also 26. So in case I print age comma experience, I'll see that both the variable are holding the same values. Wherever in first case I said print name comma age, so I have seen that in case of name Sumit is being displayed and in case of age 25 is being displayed. So this is what you need to remember, that in Python multiple assignments are possible. Now see, we can swap the Python variables also, values also, like num1 is holding value as 34, num2 is holding the value as 78, because we have assigned these all values to num1 and num2 variable. Now if I say num2 is equals to num2 comma num1, and if I try to display what we have done, num1 comma num2. Now num1 comma num2, and what value I have assigned, num2 comma num1. What it means, that num1 will be holding the value which num2 was having, and num2 will be holding the value which num1 was having. So when I say print num1 comma num2, then we see that the value is being swapped and the result is like this. So this is how we can swap the values over here. So we can delete also Python variable. How we can delete? To delete a Python variable, we have to make use of del. This is the moment we say del name and we try to print the value of name, we see that the error is coming because the value which is holded by name is being deleted. Earlier we have assigned the value as gems over here. So del keyword we use to delete the value is already stored in the variable. Now we see what are the different types of data which we can store in different variables. So the data type which are supported by Python are Python numbers, Python string, list, tuples, dictionaries, sets. When we talk about numbers, it supports integer type of information, float type of information, long, complex. Complex was not the data type supported by C, C++ and Java, whereas Python support complex data type also. So we see that if we talk about number data type, these are int, float, long and complex. One by one we'll see. Like if you want to store the integer value, we'll say num is equals to 10. Now if you want to check what is the data type of num, how we can check? Type is a function which let you know that what is the data type of num variable. So we say type within bracket num. So the output is it belongs to int class. Fine, it means data type is int. And see, there is no as such you can if you want to store the value in the integer, you can store of any length, as you have seen in C, C++, that there is a range for each and every data type. Here it's not like this. If you can store any size of value to num and all are integers only, then it will display that the data type which num variable is holding of int only. So this is only depends that whatever the value you are storing in any variable, it can be of any length. It depends upon only and only the limitation of the memory which is available in your system. Next is float. You can see over here, I stored the value as 9.0 in num, and when I say type num, to check the data type num variable is holding, it is displaying float. Same is the case of long. This Python data type also hold a long integers, but the length is unlimited. But this construct does not exist in 3.x version. So be careful about this thing. Now next is complex. Complex, we know that complex numbers are consist of real part and imaginary part. So you can directly store the value in the form of complex number also. Like here I am saying num is equals to 2 plus 3j, where 2 is a real part and this j is an imaginary part. When I want to see that what is the data type of num variable, we can see that it is having a complex data type. Now there is a is instance function also. It tells Python variable belongs to which class. So it takes two parameters. First is variable and another is the name of a class. You want to check whether num is an instance of complex class or not. What I can say, I can check it. It will return the boolean value. If it is true, it will return true, otherwise false. It means if this variable belongs to this particular class, this particular data type, then only it will return true, otherwise not. So here as num belongs to, just now we have stored in num a complex value, and if I want to check whether num is of belongs to complex class or not, or how we can write, I can pass two parameter to is instance function. First is variable name and second is class name. So we print, it will print the value as true. Now further on we'll see. In case of string, what is a string? String is basically a sequence of so many number of characters. And characters can be any character, it can be alphabet, it can be number, it can be a spatial character, it can be a space. So here you see that if I say inst underscore name is equals to within double quotes Jims Vasant Kunj 2 and I want to print the name of inst name, we can see that it is a string. To check, we can check using type also. It will display you the output as string only. Python does not have any char data type as it in C, C++ and Java it is having. You can delimit a string using single quotes or double quotes. And another thing which we need to remember is that you can span a string across lines also. You can write multiple lines also. No issues in that. If you are holding a value, if you want that the variable should hold a multiple line of values, you can use triple quotes in spite of double quotes. Here it's a triple quotes. If and another line I have written only and I have enclosed this triple quotes over here. When I print, I can see that the output is in two different lines. Similarly, I can use /n also. /n is a new line character. So as I said that strings can be enclosed within single quotes or double quotes. Within single quotes I am just giving, here I have used double quotes, here triple quotes, here single quotes, so that you can have a flavor of all the three ways to assign a value to a variable. So if I say /n in between, you see the output will be like this. So the quotes preserve the formatting /n and it is a escape sequence for new line. /t is a escape sequence for tab. Tab is having more than one spaces. If you want to display a part of a string, you can display also. So a character from a string using the index position can be extracted, and the index position starts from 0 as in the case of array. If I have stored Jagannath Institute in inst underscore name variable and I want to display the value which is holded at 0th position, it will going to display J. If I just mention range, that from starting from 0 first 5 character, so it will count the character. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. So as I am saying range 5, it means I am excluding the 6th character, the slicing. So 0 to 4 is 5 character, and range I am saying 4 plus 1, 5. You have to remember this thing, that while putting a slice operator, this is also known as slicing operator, because we are cutting a slice from the string starting from 0 goes till 4th character. As I want to display first 5 characters, the first 5 characters will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 5 means 6 character. We have to always increase the length with one more character, which will be a delimiter, which will be basically a delimiter over there, and it will going to extract the slice from 0 to 4th character only. Now there are string formatters also. String formatters allows us to print characters and values at once. For this we use percentage symbol. Fine. So age is equals to 25. I have declared a variable age which is holding value as 25. I have declared a variable inst underscore name which is holding a string value, that is Jagannath Institute. Now if I want to print my institute is, then the name of institute, then how many years old the institute is, the age of institute I want to print. How I can write? I will write my institute is percentage s is percentage s years old, then percentage after double quotes inst underscore name comma age. So you can see that in place of inst underscore name Jagannath Institute is being displayed, and in place of age 25 is being displayed. So it has replaced or substituted the value of variable over here. So we can use, as earlier we used to use percentage d in C or percentage s or percentage f. Here we can also use string formatted as percentage, and here I have mentioned two, because two values I want to display twice, I have used percentage s over here. That's why After, we will not be using comma over here, we'll be writing percentage and within bracket the variable names. And these variables names value will be going to get substituted in the locations where we have mentioned the formatter as percentage s over here and percentage s over here. You can also use the format method. Format is a method. In spite of using percentage, I can use format method, and the convention is I have to use the index position. And what I'm saying, my institute is first of all 0th index position within this curly bracket, and then with again 1 within curly bracket. Double quotes will be going to get closed over here. This is double quotes. We are closing over here. Dot format inst name will be going to get replicated by this 0th position, and age will be going to get replicated by worst position. So the value will be going to get substituted. First variable value will be going to get substituted at 0th location, 0th position, and second at the first position. The same work we can do by writing the name of a variable over here in spite of writing zeros and 1. And here I'll write directly the value format within bracket inst name is equals to Jagannath Institute and age is equals to 25. So this is also a way of using a format function. Now see here another way, this is the third option, we can use F. Fine. So how we can write? We will write print F within double quotes my institute curly bracket inst name is curly bracket age years old. No need to mention the name of a variable over here after putting dot or using percentage symbol or after by using dot format. It will automatically picks the values of a variable from the already declared variables value and substitute the value of inst name over here and age over here. This is the third way to display the values in a formatted way. First is percentage, second is dot format, and third is directly using F. You can use the name of a variable. You can concatenate two strings also. How you can concatenate? Using plus concatenation operator. So you say if num is having 10 value, it is of integer data type. Num is having within single quotes 10 value, no issues. You say num plus num, it will concatenate, it will not be going to edit. Data type is also different. Fine. You cannot concatenated value of different data types. You should be very much careful. If you try to concatenate values of different data types, it will be going to give you the error that you can only concatenate str, you cannot concatenate integer value to string. Now another third data type, that is list. We have seen integer, we have seen string. Now we are seeing list data type. So list is basically a collection of values, and you should remember it may contain different types of values. To define a list, you must put values separated by commas, and you have to put all the values within square bracket. Fine. You no need to declare a type for a list beforehand. You can directly put all the values of different data types together by separating all the values by commas within square bracket. Like here in case of days, I have written Monday, for Monday MON, for Tuesday TUE, for Wednesday WET. These three are of string data type, then rest of are of integer data type. It will store all different types of values together under one name. We can slice a list also. For slicing a list, we have to give a range starting from 1 goes till, as I want to extract two values, I have to just use the length, increasing the length by 1, 3. It will not be including third value. So first value is Tuesday and second is Wednesday. 0th value is Monday. So it will not be including 0th position value because I have started from extracting the values from first position, and it will also not be including the third position value because I want to extract only two values which are lying at first position and second position. So you should remember this thing, that indexing always starts from 0th position in Python. If you want to know the length of a list, you have to use len function. The moment you say len days, it will display you the length as 7. You can reassign the elements also of a particular position. If you say day 2 is equals to 3, you can say, see that 0th position value is Monday, first position value is Tuesday, and third position of value, which was Wednesday, has now become 3. So you can reassign the values also in Python list. Now you can see you can iterate on a list because list is having so many number of values. So you can use loop, you can use for loop. For loop is used in Python as for, then the name of a variable in which one by one each and every value from this list will go n in days. Print n. So it will start from 0th position. First of all, 0th position value will come to n, that is Monday, then Tuesday, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. And you can see one by one each and every value will go to n, start looping from starting, goes till end automatically. No need to put the condition or the increment or update statement over here in Python. You can also have multi-dimensional list. For multi-dimensional list, you have to use two square brackets within the square bracket. It's a parent square bracket. Within this parent square bracket, you are having two square brackets, and within those two square brackets, you are having different values separated by comma. So it is having multiple list within this, and it can have any number of list within this. So it supports multi-dimensional list also. Now see tuples. Tuples are like list only. The difference is this, that tuples are always being declared within parentheses, not within square bracket. So here this is a tuple. In this you can see that 3 data members are over here, maths, English and Hindi, and all are separated by comma only. Only the difference is that this is being enclosed within parentheses, not within square bracket. Now if you want to slice or access element from the tuple, again you have to give the position. If I say subjects 1, it will going to display the second value. If I say subject 0, it will display the first value. If I want to slice first two element, I have to just say the length as len plus 1, means first two element is 0 and 1, then 1 plus 1 is 2. It will be going to extract only 0 and first value. The moment it reaches to 2, it will stop slicing the values from the tuple. You should remember this thing, that tuples are immutable, means you cannot edit or change the value later on. Once you have stored the value or you have assigned the values in a tuple, you cannot change any element from the tuple of which is lying at any position. It will give you the error. So that's why we say that tuples are immutable. Now we come to dictionary. Dictionary is basically a data type which hold the values in key value pair form. It is always declared within curly bracket. All the pairs are separated by comma, whereas key value pairs are having a separator as colon. If I city colon Ahmedabad, means ki the value of city is Ahmedabad. If I say age colon 7, means the value of age is 7. So when I say person, it will display the output in this way. And if you want to check the data type, we write type person, it will say dict. Dict means it is a dictionary type of data type. We want to access if some values from the dictionary, we have to write the value of, write the key name over here. The moment I write the name of a key over here, it will going to display the value to me. You can reassign also values of a key. Like earlier the age was 7. If I want to reassign, I can say person, within single quotes I write age and then value 45. We can see that the value is being changed. I can reassign the value in case of dictionary as well as in case of list, but not in case of tuple. You want to check how many keys are over there and what are the name of a keys. The function I use is person.keys. So it will display that there are two key values. The first key name is city and second is age. We can have another data type, that is bool. For this, bool data type hold only true or false values. If I say num is equals to 2 greater than 1, so it will check whether 2 is greater than 1 or not. If it is greater than 1, it will say true, otherwise false. To check the data type, I can check it is displaying me that it is holding bool data type. Now, this is the last data type which is supported by Python, that is sets. Set is having a list of values which is defined within curly bracket, not within box bracket. These all are the values, and the values, if I say age, it will display that these all are the ages which are being stored in the set. So it always return one instance of any value present more than once. Suppose you have stored repeated values 32, 34, 34, 67, 45. 245 are over here, 234 are over here. If I say age, it will return only one instance, not repeated instance. Set is unordered, so it doesn't support indexing. You should remember this thing. If you try to extract the value which is stored at third position, and if you try to write age 2, it will give you the error. So it doesn't support indexing. This is another example. Sets are mutable. You can change any value. How you can change? You can say that age dot remove 34. It will remove 34 value, and to add you will use add function, that is age dot add. So as it doesn't support indexing, you cannot change the value by putting the index position like age 2 is equals to 37. You can't do this. You have to use either add function to add new value or remove function to remove existing value from the set. Now we see the data type conversions. Python enables you to convert the data type, that is why we say that Python is dynamically typed, because you are able to convert one data type into another. The various functions which are supported to perform type conversions are: first is int. It converts the value into integer data type. Suppose you are passing the decimal value over here, float value over here, it will convert it into integer type. If you convert boolean value, it would convert it into integer type. So similarly, if you try to convert a string value into integer, it is not possible. It will give you error. If the strings have numbers, then it can convert. Let's say if it is within double quote 77, you can convert this string data type into integer data type. But if it is a name or a character, it will not going to display or convert it. It will throw an error. Similarly, if you want to convert a value, integer value, into float type, you can by writing float 7. The output is float 7. Output is 7.0. Float true, the output is 1.0. Within double quotes 11.9, all are integer. No matter it is in double quotes, it will display it. You can also convert an exponential value. An exponential value, you can convert it. However, this number works even without the float function. If you simply write the exponential value in this way, you see that the output is in the decimal form or float form. Now str is a function which is used to convert value into a string. If you say str 2.5, it will give you within quotes 2.5. Within double quotes 7, it will give you 7 in quotes. True, it will give you string. 1, 2, 3, it will convert it into string. So it converts value into string. Bool converts the value into boolean. You can see if you say 0 false, 3 true, true true, 2.1 true, 2 comma 3 true. If you simply write a parenthesis, it will false. If you write a bracket, it is false. Curly bracket false, none false. So bool is basically a function which is used to convert the value into boolean data type. Now see sets. So it is used to convert value into set. Suppose that this is a value, these values are within curly bracket, it will convert it into set. You can use it as set also. List will convert the value into list. Suppose you have passed 1, 2, 3, 4 in double quotes, it will convert it into 4 elements, all are separated by comma, all are having different index position. If you write repeated value, it will just omit one value and convert it again into list. If you pass on dictionary type of value, then again it will convert it into list. It will omit this :1 and :2. Tuple, you can convert a value into tuple also. This is, we have passed 1, 2, 3, 4. It has converted into tuple. There is no curly bracket over here. You can try your own combinations also. You can use composite functions, like with you are converting this set into list. You can do this also. This is a set which you want to convert into list. So you can write in this way also. Now come to local and global variables. Local variables are basically variable which are being declared inside a function. So the life of this function will be, this variable will be inside the function only. This is local to function func. This is the way we define a function in Python. Def keyword we use, then the name of a function which can be any, parenthesis, colon. Inside this I am declaring a variable and printing. It will print. Fine. Here the variable num is local to the function. But after coming out from the function, if I try to display the value of num, I can't, because there is no existence of num variable outside the function definition. Whereas if we talk about global variable, here I have declared a variable n is equals to 8 outside the function definition. Within the function, I have reassigned the value to n as 0, and then I am saying n is equals to n plus 2, and I am printing n. So when I call this function, we can call the function here also by its name. It will display, as I am printing n, it will display the value of n as 2. Whereas outside the function, if I try to display the value of n, it will display its global value, which is 8. So this is global value. Global value, whose scope is outside the functions also and within the program. This is another example of global variable. N is equals to 8. Now here I say global n. What I have said? Global n. Because from inside the function I am changing the value of global n. And now I have assigned the value of n as 0, then incremented it by 2 and printed it. It will display 2 and the change will reflect it outside also, because I have used global keyword. Fine. So it will treat this n not as a local keyword, it will treat it as a global keyword, global variable. So whatever changes I do inside the function will be going to get reflected globally to that variable's value. These are certain questions which I want to give you as an assignment. You have to see what are the variables and data types in Python. What do you mean by type function? What are local and global variables in Python? What are the different naming convention rules to name a variable name, and how to display part of a string. This is all for the day. Thank you. Have a nice time. See you in another class. If you are having any doubt, you can put it in description box. I'll going to solve it out. Thank you.